Francis, we're here at Cuadrilla's Preston New Road site in the northwest of England. A lot's happened since you last addressed the AJ Lucas AGM about a year ago now. Just fill us in, what's happened in that time? A lot, I imagine.
Well, a lot indeed. It's been a very exciting year for us. We started the construction of this site here in January of this year, and this is now the largest onshore exploration site in the UK. We've completed the construction of the site, as you can see. That was completed in June of this year. We then started work on the wells, which you can see the drilling rig behind me here. We started that in June, setting the conductors. The drilling rig itself arrived during July, and we started drilling in August, and now we're very well advanced on the drilling. So it's been a very exciting, very productive 6 or 7 months here in Lancashire.
It's hard not to notice that big structure behind you. That's the drill, of course. It looks incredibly impressive. How's drilling going?
Well, it's going really well. As I said, we started the drilling of the first 2 wells. We have approval to drill 4 wells, but our plan is to drill initially 2 horizontal wells. We started both of those wells in August of this year. We've drilled what we call the top hole section, the upper hole of both the wells, down to about a little over 1 kilometre down beneath our feet here towards the shale. And now on the first well, we've started drilling into the shale. So we're down to about 1.5 kilometres on the first well, and we're just getting ready to drill into the shale behind me and start taking core samples. So again, very exciting. We expect we'll have completed the drilling of the vertical and horizontal wells by the end of this year or very early next year, and then of course it's on to fracking.
And you mentioned their core samples. Why is that important? What are you looking for there?
Well, when we get into the shale, it's a very thick section of shale here, and that's one of the unique features of Lancashire. Is the shale is well over 1.5 kilometres thick, unlike anything anyone has seen in the US. So one of the kind of high class problems, so to speak, is where in that very thick section are you going to drill the horizontal wells. So the geologists like to take samples of the rock, and then they study those at great length, but we will decide where we want to drill the horizontal well.
And a horizontal, you're going to drill horizontally. That sounds quite special.
Well, it is quite special, and people think, of course, you come down and you drill at a right angle, but it's not like that. What happens is you start from much higher up and you slowly build angle until you're horizontal, and then you carry on horizontally. And you can drill horizontally for great lengths. These wells will drill 1 kilometre horizontals and then frack and test them.
So at what stage are we going to know just quite how much shale gas is actually down there in all this drilling that's going on?
Well, we should be fracturing the wells in the first quarter of next year, and then we'll be testing the flow of gas towards the end of the first quarter and through into the second quarter of next year. Initially that gas will go to flare, and we'll see what flow rates we get. And then later on we expect to be tying the gas into the local gas grid, which is sitting just a few hundred metres from where we're standing here, and then it actually goes to heating local homes. It goes directly to heating houses and industry, so it'll be Lancashire gas for Lancashire business.
Plenty of developments happening, exciting developments happening on site, but it's fair to say off-site too you've got a lot going on. The local area is benefiting already from this, aren't they, even though you're not producing yet?
Well, indeed. Cuadrilla, of course, moved its headquarters. We moved from Lichfield in the Midlands here in the UK to Lancashire, and since January of this year we've created 50 jobs in Lancashire between the office and the site and our suppliers, and we've invested almost £5 million now in the last 9 months in the Lancashire economy alone, and that's just drilling the 2 exploration wells. Of course, we hope that this will be successful. We're confident it'll be successful, and we look forward to creating a lot more jobs and investing a lot more money here as we move forward.
How's the community benefiting from the Shale Gas Exploration Fund?
Well, the Shale Gas Exploration Fund was agreed with the government. It was to be £100,000 per exploration site. As I've said, on this site we plan to drill 4 exploration wells, and Cuadrilla has taken the decision that we will contribute £400,000, £100,000 per well that's drilled to the community. So for the first 2 wells here it'll be £200,000, and we just announced this week that £100,000 of that will be going. The local community were balloted, and they decided they'd like that in the form of cash payments. So that's what we'll be doing. So they'll see the benefit of that. The other things we're doing with the community, I mean, this site is probably the most monitored site in Europe. We're measuring air quality, water quality, we're measuring noise, we're measuring traffic, we're measuring emissions, and we'll measure seismicity in due course. And all of that is reported online on our e-portal, which is a first for the industry worldwide, I think.
The work on site and off site here, it's fair to say, is incredibly important to you guys. How well is this industry doing as a result of a lot of the work that's going on?
Well, we see, of course, here a fantastic acceleration of development over the last 9 months, but across the UK now, it's interesting. There is a marked pickup in activity. Third Energy, another company, they're going to be fracturing a well in Yorkshire very soon, in fact, perhaps as early as this week. We know that iGas, who are another UK operator, have approval to drill 2 vertical wells in the Midlands in the UK, and they'll be starting that probably beginning of next year. And Ineos, who are a big player now in UK shale, have plans to drill wells also. Cuadrilla leading the way here in Lancashire, but of course we also have licenses in the Midlands and in Yorkshire. So we're very much rooting for their success, because their success will be our success, and vice versa. And of course it's been a year now since we spoke at the AGM. And I would like to say how appreciative we are of AJ Lucas, both as an investor in Cuadrilla and of course as a shareholder in Lancashire in their own right. They've been a very supportive and a very patient investor, and hopefully they can now see that over the course of the last month we have accelerated in progress, and when we come back in a year's time, they will see that their investment is reaping rewards, and that we're flowing gas from these wells into the pipeline.